All right, welcome in everybody to Saturday's edition of Daily Bread, coming at you live right at 11 a.m. on the East Coast. So if you're tapping in with us on the West Coast, grab that cup of coffee, throw in those earbuds, and go walk your dog because you got today's winners coming at you live, quick, and easy here. Sosa, how you doing today on this Saturday?
It's Saturday. Good start to baseball season. Looking to build on it. Um, just nice little Friday, and looking forward to having a really positive weekend.
Yeah,
Uh,
sorry, Caitlin just stopped over and showed me the Dwayne Haskins news.
what do you do?
He got killed by a car.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. Not the way we were expecting to start off today's episode of Daily Bread, but yeah. Thoughts and prayers with Dwayne Haskins and his family.
Wow. Oh my.
But we're powered and sponsored by the Wise Guys Diamond Club. Be sure to be checking them out for your weekend action. The weekend deal is live. We're also live on Twitter at Daily Bread Media. Make sure to give us a like and retweet there. And then we're also live on YouTube. Make sure to throw us that subscribe button and hit that. But sorry, I'm a little messed up after seeing that news.
Bruh, a kid. That's just. Yeah, it's rest in peace to that young man, bruh. Very, very, very unfortunate situation. You don't see that sort of thing coming ever. Yeah.
So today, we're going to skip the soccer plays and we're going to be looking at the 4 NBA games because the Sixers are playing, so we'll be breaking down that game. And then also we got the full MLB slate, the first MLB Saturday. So Sosa's got the Nerfy, who's going to hit a dinger, and any other team total, any other action you want. The number one spot to be making sure on Mondays you get that Cash App or Venmo payment and not the request. But Sosa, how was your Friday night? Not too much happened.
Um, it was pretty good. You know, um, the Dodgers sold on the team total. Won the game though, so I can't be mad because I'm a fan. Covered the run line. Trying to think what else. Yeah, really no real fireworks in baseball for me yesterday. How about your boys handling business, getting their runs? Castellanos finally. It took him three at bats, but he finally got off the snide. The home fans seem to be embracing him. Yeah.
Yeah, Schwarber starting off the game with the jack is always the best way to see it. But yeah, the trendy dog of the day yesterday, the Rockies, they were dead and dusted from the start. If you hear any background news, I'm up in the Poconos, so I'm sorry about that. But is there anything else we want to get into, or do we just want to get into today's plays and make sure you like and retweet?
We got to talk about the Blue Jays. That's the one thing we got to talk about. Down 7-0, came back and won the game, or 7-2. They were losing, and I mean they came back from the dead. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. What a great way to start the season, right? Same for the Tigers, right? How about hitting on the first five run line for Chicago, and then Detroit just coming back and winning the game. And the way they won it was crazy too. It was on an overturned play. The ball hit the wall, and the right fielder didn't catch it. So it was
one time we liked VAR. We didn't like it in soccer yesterday. Man, pulling away the push at the death. They VAR'd the goal back on Holland. Criminal.
Absolutely criminal. But yeah, that's
the atmosphere in Toronto last night felt like a playoff game and a game one. Love it.
For sure.
Let's get through the 4 NBA games if you got anything at all, because there's not much, in my opinion, here, just because there's not much left in the standings. And I think the Sixers, we can just start with them, 14.5-point favorites. No, I don't think they can potentially lose this one. But I think they're completely trying to get this seeding lined up to make sure they don't see the Bucks in round 2 and wait till they see them in the Eastern Conference Finals. It's kind of been their montage the past few games. They see like anything in the Sixers.
They better beat the fucking Raptors first round. I mean that respectfully. Like that ain't no cakewalk matchup. That Toronto Raptors team switches everything. They're extremely athletic, extremely well coached. I wouldn't sleep on them giving us hell in the first round. I like us to win this series, but I think they can give us hell.
No, definitely. That's where I just think you can't be. I don't think the Sixers are in a spot after making that trade that you can be in a spot of trying to just skate past your first round opponent. I think they're thinking the bigger picture and just saying if we get Giannis and Drew going up against us, there's no way. Just wait till I'm in the ECF or hope someone knocks them off. But today, 14.5. Are we targeting Haliburton or what are we liking in this game?
We're targeting Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is going to get these. And the thing is, everybody was like, they should rest him for the last couple of games. Well, I mean, we get a break because of the play-in tournament. Everyone gets a break because of the play-in tournament. So there's no reason for him to like not play or let him get his stats, let him play the games because he's going to have to sit down for a week anyway. So I'm fully on Joel Embiid's points. I mean, what more do we say about him? We've seen 80 games of it, right? We've seen a full season of him just being absolutely dominant. Scoring title thoughts. His numbers at 34.5, bro. 34.5.
Yeah, I was about to say, these are the last 2 games at home against Indiana. Then tomorrow, home against Detroit. He's probably easily getting a 30-piece to try. I don't want to say solidify that MVP spot, but he's going to be stat padding.
Yep, that's exactly what the case is. Also hearing that John Morant could play today.
No way. You think?
I mean, they said he could be available. I don't think he will be, but they're talking about it. Another team where, they're going to have to sit for a week anyway, so why wouldn't they? He got upgraded to questionable last night. So take whatever you will with that. And it's not too much that I love today. I like the over. The only 2 plays that I like are the over in the New Orleans Pelicans Memphis Grizzlies game. The numbers at 229.5. I think we see lots of pace, lots of shots, no matter who plays. I like the play.
I was about to say, I kind of honestly just like it's square, it's chalky, but I kind of like all 4 just overs. So I think defense is going to be the least on the people's minds. Not much seeding to be figured out at this point. I mean, not many Sixers home games get up to all the way to 235, and Indiana's defense can't stop shit at this point. And then the same spot, New Orleans at Memphis. Memphis locked into their spot. The Pels are locked into theirs as well. You got the -6 there. If Ja's there back, it's just hard to go against the Grizz at this point, even though how nice BI's been looking, but the over seems an easy spot. Then you got Sacramento at the Clippers. Who really cares about that California matchup? And then San Antonio, Golden State. I mean, it doesn't matter either. Let's just get to the MLB, where all the money is to be made. Sosa is hot after the first 2 days of the season. We're still looking for that stolen base, but everything else has been smooth sailing. But when the stolen base is plus 230, you can take that when you're hitting the Nerfies, when you're hitting the dinger bets. That is just the icing on the cake, and I'm feeling it today.
I feel like
I was watching the Empoli Spezia game this morning, and there was a lot of this morning. It was nil-nil, too.
I feel like I failed the people the first 2 days of the season, but you know what?
How are you feeling when you go positive? Just because the stolen base prop doesn't come through. It is what it is. But Sosa, full slate. Who are we fading? Who are we targeting? Because you've got some of the pitchers up here that we like to fade from last season.
So who are we starting with?
I don't know. Do you want to fade Sonny Gray today?
Sonny,
kind of like Seattle to come out into Minnesota and get the outright dub today with Gilbert on the mound. Sonny, he likes to pitch in low markets, so I guess that's where Minnesota is a good one, but he has too much pressure on him. And We've seen it when he's anything above a number 3 in the rotation. Sure, if you want to be in the Cincinnati Reds and go 500 like the Phillies do every season, then you roll out Sony in the 1 or 2. Minnesota, they have a bunch of money on them to come through to win the AL. I still think that's the White Sox division, but I know Logan Gilbert's young, hasn't looked too hot as of recent, but I like the Mariners on the money line today.
Let's get it, man. We're high on this Seattle team. Obviously, y'all know how I feel about Julio Rodriguez. Definitely a superstar in the making. He just got to get his feet wet in the majors. At plus money, I like it. It's just a matter of, like you said, how Gilbert performs. New year, new aspirations, new everything for him. I personally, I love the play. So
yep, plus 127 on the money line. Looking for them to pick up 2, and then our man Flexen will be pitching soon enough.
Yes, sir.
All right, what are you rocking with the start-off play of the day?
First play of the day, we're going to the Baltimore Orioles at Tampa Bay Rays. We're going no runs first inning in this one. Minus 110. Both middle of the pack pitchers. I prefer middle of the pack pitchers when I'm capping Nerfies. I like them to get me 3 outs, and then they start getting banged up second, third. We saw it yesterday in the Dodger game. Got out of the first inning, got runs in the second, third, fourth. It's just how it goes, man. I like that today. Rasmussen on the mound. Lyles on the mound. I think Lyles is good enough to get me 3 outs. I think Rasmussen at the crib could do the same. At minus 110, I like it, and that's the first play for me.
Right.
Or the next game I want to go to.
I was about to say, we got to get into the Houston Angels matchup with Noah making his debut against Verlander. I don't want to say Verlander's old, but he's old. It's not. If this happened 3 or 4 years ago, this would be fire. It's still going to be a fire matchup with both teams sitting right around the minus 110, the even mark. Do you like anything at all in this Astros-Angels game?
I'm fading both these geezers. Syndergaard on the other side. I'm going first 5 over 4.5 even.
Woo!
I think they both give up runs. I think both offenses are pretty electric. I think Syndergaard will be good at some point this year. I just don't trust him to be good to start the season. Here's another thing that we have to be fully aware of. Starting pitchers are not going to have a long leash to start this major league season. There was no spring training. We saw yesterday. There's no way that you're pulling Garrett Cole in the 4th inning after he was clean for 3 straight. You're not doing that. You're not doing that a month from now. Every single pitcher right now is on a pitch count. So if we're capping starting pitching, you got to be really careful because it's not about how long they're going to go in the game. It's a matter of the number of pitches.
Go with the unders on their props at this point.
Absolutely.
That's the only thing I have to say, unless Shohei's really the only difference to this, and because he was rocking with the no-no. That's really the only reason why he got that long of a leash. And
Absolutely.
When you're proven and looking that good, I mean, I guess you can do it. It's kind of back where Gabe Kapler pulled Nola, like in the 5th inning on starting day. That's kind of just where you're going to see that more often. And Gabe did this 2 or 3 years ago.
I'm glad you brought that up. They had a no-hitter both their first 2 games. And obviously they lost it as soon as they went to the bullpen, but it's just letting you know, like, be very careful when you're picking these first 5s or you're capping the game based on starting pitching to start this season. You're going to see a lot of guys that we expect to go long in ball games have a very short hook.
And I think Noah's definitely going to be one of them. The Astros are going for the sweep. They finally made them favorites, even though they're baby dogs, is what I like to call them, because they're plus like 115 and plus 105 the first 2 games. But Sosa, where are we headed next?
We're back on the wagon. Los Angeles Dodgers team total over 6.5 minus 105. Didn't get it yesterday. Volume is what we would say in baseball or in basketball. Opportunity is what we call it in baseball. They left 9 runners on base, 5 of them in scoring position. They had every opportunity to get that team total yesterday. They just didn't. If you're going to give me their number 2 starter, there's no way to pitch to this Dodgers lineup. There will be no slumps all year. We're going to win 100 games. We're going to win 110 games. I wouldn't be surprised if we contend to break some records. I really do honestly mean that, not just because I'm a fan, but because if you give this lineup the opportunity to have a DH and you're not facing a pitcher, it makes it exponentially more difficult for you to attack them from a pitching standpoint, especially with your bullpen.
All right. I think I have to do the first run line of the season today, Sosa.
I know where it's probably coming from.
The White Sox?
You going with the White Sox?
Yes, sir.
Ooh, running it right back. Let's go.
Plus 120 on the run line. Full games of the -1.5. And this is a sole fact. Dylan Cease is 8-0 when starting against Detroit with a 2.10 ERA, a 1.130 WHIP. His team's 8-1 overall. So he's getting the dubs. He's coming through clean most of the time. Sure, as Sosa said, don't be relying on the Pacers. But Casey, on the other side, he's 0-3 when he's facing the White Sox, 0-5 overall. I just think it's a nice spot where within the division, the White Sox know how to hit Mees. They don't know how to hit, and then they don't know how to hit Cease. I like the run line at -120. We got our man Cassius back. One of our people from day one, huge White Sox fan, was in every one of our chats during baseball season. We're glad you're back, and I do not think FanDuel's offering stolen base props yet.
BetMGM. And we're running it right back with Trey Turner again today, and we're going to run it right back with Starling Marte. Listen, there's a good chance we're going to run it back. Also, like I said, you're never going to get odds worse than plus 300. So we're not taking a full unit. It's a quarter unit max on these. These are not plays for you to overextend your bankroll. At plus 375, you're putting a full unit on it. You got balls. I'm not gonna lie, I do that sometimes, but to each his own, right?
Yes, sir. Someone's just getting booed upstairs. That was pretty funny.
The next play I'm on is in the Philadelphia Phillies, Oakland Athletics.
You on the fighting?
Of course I'm rolling with y'all, but you know what I'm not rolling with? Your fucking bullpen.
No.
Don't
do that.
I love y'all.
It's the same recipe as last season.
I'm rolling with the Oakland A's team total over 3.5. Now,
I told you it would come through yesterday. The A's would crack their 3.5, and they got 5.
The Phillies might get 10 today, but they're going to get you 4. Oakland A's team total over 3.5, -120. The line's going to precipitously go up. Catch it now before the value's gone. The bullpen in Philly is an absolute joke. Gibson did not show us last year that he was worth the squeeze. They traded for him. He did not show up. He did not perform well at the beginning of the year. Will he bounce back? That's a question. I think that Oakland will somehow find a way to manufacture runs. I have no idea how, because this team they just found a way. Obviously, you have to give credit to them because your bullpen fucking stinks.
I mean, I know it's the bullshit, the easy narrative to go with right now, where it could be chalky, it could be square. Why do we just not bet the Phillies overs every single game at this point? Their lineup is just meant to hit dingers and strike the fuck out. Their defense is meant to complete errors, and the bullpen has been the same bullpen while they haven't made the playoffs for 11 years.
Correct.
It's kind of just like, at this point, they're going to start looking like Rockies overs at some point soon, in my opinion. They're going to be only priced at 10 unless Nola or Wheeler is on the mound very soon, because the ballpark is very hitter-friendly as well.
Yes, sir. I do have 2 more Nerfies that I love. It's interesting that you brought up the Chicago White Sox Detroit game. I like that game to have no runs in the first inning, partially because of what you said, Cease. And then also, I believe that Casey Mize is the real ace of this staff. Eduardo Rodriguez was supposed to be the shiny car that you roll out, like the new shiny toy that you got. Listen, Eduardo Rodriguez is still having issues locating. He was not terrible yesterday, but he was not good. Cease and Mize.
Our man, Erod.
Yeah, Cease and Mize are going to get you 3. They're going to get you 3 outs apiece. No runs first inning, Chicago White Sox, Detroit Tigers, -115. And then We're also going to go to the Nationals Mets game, and we're going to run the same contrarian line back with the Mets Nationals game that we did with the Dodgers yesterday. Yesterday, the Dodgers no runs first inning was at plus money. It's at plus money in the Mets Nationals game. I believe in two pitchers who don't get any type of media coverage to get us 2 outs. Chris Bassett was a trade that they made. I think he does well. There's Aiden.
Solid trade.
Adon. I don't even know how to pronounce this guy's name. For the Nationals, he can get me 3 outs against that Mets lineup. It looks like the Mets are going to take a little bit to really start generating some serious offense. It's because they're not that great of a lineup. So no runs first inning in the Mets. The Mets Nationals game is at plus 110. Those are the 3 that I love for today. That's the third one that I love for today. For no runs first.
Am I able to bet on, because your whole thing of starting pitchers getting the short leash, does Carlos Rodon even make it 4 innings today?
Well, this is the thing. If you have BetMGM, you can bet the first 3 and first 5. I think that a lot of first 3 bets are in play for the first month of the season. I mean, you got a lot of like I said, you got a lot of guys who got very, very little work in spring training because they did not have an actual spring training. So, like I said, it's there's going to be a lot of first 3 bets if you believe in starting pitchers, because I think that's going to be something here where the cream's going to rise to the top, and the best pitchers will perform well to start games, and knowing that they have a short hook to start the season. That's just my firm expectation, personally.
And then the last look and the last play I have of the day, rocking with another dog. I like the Guardians on the money line.
Ooh, let's get it.
Going to Kansas City, get the dub. The hitting just wasn't there. Maybe the bats stay cold, but I just think in today's matchup against Plesac, 6-0 against Kansas City with the 2.80 ERA, 8-1 overall in his start. And then Brad Keller, he just hasn't faced that well against the Guardians. Sure, he has a 2.13 ERA. His team's just not getting through the wins. I think the bats wake up today for the Guardians, and I'm rocking them on the money line at plus 110.
Yesterday,
so 3 plays for me today.
Yesterday in pro baseball, Nerfies were 500. Half the games had runs, half the games did not. Today will be a big Nerfy day in baseball. I think those 3 that we have are extremely sharp looks. I love all 3, and I also want to. Can you get a line for this for me? Yes.
What's up?
Yes, runs first inning in the Dodger Colorado Rockies game, and that'll be the last official for me.
Oh, you want a Nerfy?
Uh-huh.
Let me see. MLB Preps. Don't got it yet.
I can't get it either. But
score in first inning. Let's try this one. This is probably I only not listed yet. It's too late of a game.
Yeah, it's like, but that's an official lean. So win or lose, we're going to be right.
Love to hear that.
So,
I was about to say, if you heard a bunch of background noise throughout today's episode, I tried my best, but I'm up in the Poconos, so can't really do much.
They got it on BetMGM. What do you think it is?
Minus 125.
Minus 175. It doesn't even have any value. Yeah.
Yeah, so use it as a parlay prop then.
Yes, I do. Like I said, I do believe that we get runs today, first inning in the Colorado Rockies Los Angeles Dodger game. Lots of scoring, man. We're going to get lots of scoring here to open it up. It's just teams are some ballparks are benefiting right now because the weather's a little chilly. But once all these ballparks break 75 degrees, we're going to see the ball flying out of the ballpark. We got the humidor at every single ballpark. It's up this season, 100%. So
yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was about to say we still got over 100 people rocking with us right now. Make sure to be dropping in any last-minute questions, any last-minute comments before we wrap it up for your Saturday. We hope you all have a great day on top of that. But we have to get some MLS action in before you wrap up.
Of course we do. Of course.
El Tráfico over 3 -120. So what's El Tráfico?
That is LAFC versus the LA Galaxy.
Dumbest name for a derby. Dumbest fucking name ever. But we're rocking with the El Tráfico over both. You can definitely do the both teams to score and over 2.5 there. That is a solid angle as well. And then the other one that we're rocking with is, oh shit, that's way juiced. I like the over in the Earthquakes Dynamo game, but over 2.5 sitting at -135. That's too much juice for me, so I ain't playing that. So we'll stick to the one MLS play. Maybe I'll tweet another one out later, but that's basically going to wrap us up for today's episode of Daily Bread.
Like the video, subscribe to the channel, tell your friends about it, and let's keep going up, man.
Yes, sir. We out. Deuces.